Hello, chat. How are you guys doing? Happy Thursday, everybody. Yeah, Clyde, he is he's like I was sleeping and you woke me up. He's tired. He wants to go back and lay down. Wants to go hang out with 2.0. I understand that. I understand. I totally do, buddy. Anyways, chat, hello. We'll get a little dog ASMR going though to start the night. Just for you guys. So welcome to the show. My name's Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. And this guy right here, this is Clyde, and he's gonna, when he's not talking about Building 7 or Operation Northwoods or the USS Liberty, he is being a good boy. That's normally what he does. That's normally what he does, huh? Hi, Bubba. You gotta say hi to everybody? You wanna say hi? I know, you wanna say hi, my Bubba. Such a good boy. Such a good boy. So, do you want down, huh, Bubba? Do you want down? Let me pick you, hold you up a little bit. You can, like that. Sometimes he likes to do this. Anyways, chat, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Thursday night show. We do this every Thursday. That's why it's a Thursday night show. So, welcome, everybody. We are live on Rumble. Well, we should be live on Rumble. I don't know if it's working or not. We are live on Twitter. So, shout out to all the ghosts Elon uses to look up things and inflate people's view counts. Thanks, Elon. And then here on YouTube, hello, everybody. And then last but not least, locals. Guys, if you are new, potentiallycriminal.locals.com. It's like Patreon, except a lot more fun. You can do everything that Patreon doesn't allow you to do. And you can join for free. It costs you nothing. You can see things that are posted up on the wall. You can post on the wall yourself. I'll post on there too, and I can comment. We can do all that stuff, and that's for free. If you wish to support me, it's $3 a month. Pay for 10 months, you get 2 months free. And with that, you get access to the 2 live shows we do a week. We do a live show every Monday night, starting at about 8:30, more like 9 o'clock. And then right after this show every Thursday night, we go over to locals and hang out for a little while and have a fun time. So those are access for you only as a member. If you use a promo code POTCRIM, you get 1 month free access. So use that, and we look forward to seeing you there. In addition to all of that, we also have a live chat going in the middle of everything. And we have a live chat going that you guys get to comment, and you guys could say things that, well, we can't talk here. You could put memes and things that you guys can't say and do here. So it's always a fun time. That's open to everybody. And no, we don't play Naked Twister on locals. Not this channel, chat. So, are you done, buddy? Huh? Do you want to go down? All right, I think you're done. Yeah, he wants to go lay down again, chat. I'm going to send him down here. Hold on, Bubba. There you go. You're all set, buddy. Also, he keeps knocking my headphones off. A little frustrating at times. Just saying. You're okay, buddy. It's okay. You're such a good boy. I know. It's hard. You're basically being used like a child movie star. You don't really get paid that much, and I get it. I get it's frustrating. But you can go. You can go on. Clyde's heading back to the treehouse on Endor. What does my version of Mandy look like? God almighty, that sounds scary. That sounds so scary. Benjamin says, can we watch the rocket landing? Don't know what you're talking about. I'm kind of busy today, so I don't know what rocket landing we're talking about. So play my employees and dog food, and also hemp treats. So he's a nice little high boy tonight. He's gonna have a nice little high. Nice little high. Hold on 1 second, Chad. Hold on here. What the heck is this? All right, hold on, Chad. I need to take care of this. There we go. What the heck was that? All right, guys. So we are gonna get going here. What is Taka? Oh, the rocket landed everywhere. Oh, that's what all that was. Oh, so one of the rockets blew up. I mean, that happens. That happens. If you guys have ever watched The Right Stuff, the U.S. rocketry program in 1961 was abysmal. So it happens. Rockets explode. So, ooh, we just lost power here. That was a little ominous. But over in Rumble, people are saying hi from Rumble. Um, Layla Decker saying, "Why the hell is Zion Don back there?" Joe Schmo says, "Did I get a new camera or new lighting?" New camera. This is a new camera. 2.0 got this for me for Christmas. It's a neat little camera. It's just like a little itty bitty one, but it does like 1080p and you can record at 4K. So nothing fancy. It's not like any of those fancy Canons that other people use or all the other crazy stuff. It's just a little USB camera, but it's very, very nice. It's very, very nice. So, The Right Stuff is a good movie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, guys, we do try to hang out a couple of minutes to let people filter in here and say, I look whiter. Well, I mean, is that ever a bad thing? All right. So, got a couple things we need to catch up on here. So, Bifrons, a new member. Thanks, Bifrons, for re-upping. I appreciate the support. Oh, wait. Hold on. I didn't get the chat set up in locals. Hold on here, chat. I messed up. I'm so sorry. That is my fault. I am not good at my job. I am a bad host. I'm a bad host, chat. Here we go. It's live TV for you guys. Live TV. Why is this thing not loading? There we go. Apparently it's not going to work. So, it's not going to work. I don't think we're going to have live chat tonight, chat. Why is this not working? Okay, I guess not working. So we're not in live chat tonight on locals. Normally we do, but we don't right now. So, Self-Defeatist, though, has a comment. Stonies has a choice between new air filters, the establishment of ball sweat cigarette smell, or raise the price of $2 cans on Thursday. It was a tough decision. Yeah. I know. At least if they're listening out there, make it so it's your first can is $2. Then every other can's like $2.50. But $2.50 cans on Thursdays, that doesn't sit well. Doesn't work well. Leo says, Sean said I could pee in the Ralph Mail grave. Yes, if you guys haven't heard, it looks like Ralph is taking some time off, and I wish him the best of luck. Hope it goes well for him. And Brad says they're now offering gay tattoos in the back room at Stoney's. And Catherine says, OMG, I'm first. Well, congratulations, Catherine. Sleazy says, F's in the chat and 07s for Danielle's puppers. Yeah, sorry, Danielle. Sorry for your loss. Wow. And you guys, we met the goal, chat. We met the goal here. And what did I promise? We met the goal. I said I would say GG. So, chat, I have to tell you, GG. Good game, chat. Good game. Nico says, spent $5.01. The extra penny is for one of those cheap 99-cent fuckers to tell you, I pre-ordered you a very special gift that should arrive in a few months. I don't know if I want, do I have, can I, making me a little nervous here, Nico. Make me a little nervous. And then you said it again. Thank you very much. But it makes me concerned. Makes me very, very concerned. There's excitement, but a lot of anxiety. Agbog Chemist been a member for 21 months says, it's my birthday. Taka must rise. Well, anyways, happy birthday. Thank you for being here. And also, thank you for being here for 21 months. That is so cool. That is so cool. I appreciate the support for all this time. And Squizgar says, you see Elon's most expensive fireworks show in history? Now that I know what I was looking at on Twitter, yes, now I know. But yeah, rockets explode sometimes. Rockets explode sometimes. Still got a better safety record than NASA. Then EDW Raptor says, and to a soldier at a distant border, send him cheers from Taka. And EDW Raptor for 16 months is saying Taka now and forever. Oh my gosh, you guys are ridiculous. And then Tim Riggs showing up with some H1 green visas here, getting rid of the grays. Grays, I'm sorry, your jobs are gone. We don't want you anymore. We can't have you anymore. You best get going. It's not meant for you anymore. This is a green town. This is ours. We president now. It's a green kingdom. We Kangs that are green. If you're green, you're a Kang. That's what matters. So not only are we praying the gray away, but we're taking your jobs, Greens. We're taking your jobs. Tim, thank you for the support and your generosity. And then Charlie for $5 doodles says, Sean, my friend got a really feminine tattoo near his pelvic floor. What are the odds he is consensually pleasured by other men in prison? Greater than zero. Greater than zero. Certainly, it did not decrease the odds of it happening. All right, we're going to end on this real quick, and we'll get into it. Bibliophile with the B1B Lancer majestically traversing across the screen says he gifted 5 subs himself. More green visas. Grace, you aren't going to have a job. You're going to have nowhere to go. And even God's going to be against you. So you accept your fate. Become green. That's my only recommendation to you. Become green. Become a member. Guys, we try to do members only at least once a week. It's always a great time. It's always a great time. We did it last night, and we try to do it as much as we can there. So make sure, chat, make sure you get rid of the greens. I mean, get rid of the grays. We can't have the grays in the streets. We can't have them in the streets. These are our streets. Dolly was great today. Mr. Hyman was quite funny. I don't know if I want to know who Mr. Hyman is. That sounds a little bad. Accounting Day says, Sar, my visa. Well, don't worry. We're going to get to some Indian stuff today. So, chat, let's get started. I think we'll start off on something that happened, some developments that occurred, and they are in the case involving Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law. And if you guys remember, he's had an ongoing case in the state of Minnesota. And what's that case been about? Well, it's a case about him possessing, a whole ounce of cocaine, allegedly also having firearms in the home, which you can't possess while you're possessing drugs, and then having children in the home while you're possessing drugs, which is itself a separate misdemeanor offense, along with a gun case. So he's got 2 misdemeanors and a felony charge. The felony charge is pretty severe. But as I stated, even at the first day, he's looking at a lot of time, but he's a first-time offender. There's a presumption for probation anyway, but he would get probation almost anyway in this situation. There's no reason that he'd be going to jail. Well, there's been and along with Nick getting charged was his wife, Kayla. And then initially in the arrest was April Imholt, the wife, well, actually the ex-wife, sorry, Aaron, of Aaron Imholt of the Steel Toe Morning Show. So Aaron didn't get arrested and he got rid of his wife. You could almost call that like 2 wins for the toe. But they were, April was initially not charged. And then later she was charged with felony drug possession herself for a low-level felony offense because they found some drugs and her credit cards were sitting there, which were active credit cards. Once again, chat, don't do things that make it easy for the cops to convict you. Don't do stuff like that. Do use other items that don't link themselves to you. But anyway, she did. She got charged. And there's been an update in her case, and that kind of ties tangentially into what we're looking at here. So what did we find? Well, this is from the Kennewick County Attorney's Office, and this is a letter they put to Judge Wenzel, and this is the judge who's hearing the cases involving April, Nick, and Kayla. And it was on the 15th that it came out, and it's to the judge. And it says, "Dear Judge Wenzel, this matter is scheduled for contested omnibus Tuesday, January 1st, 2025 at 10 a.m. Now, it says a resolution was reached with the co-defendant that includes dismissing the case. The co-defendant has a plea hearing on January 24th, 2025 at 11:15 a.m. And what is the prosecutor here doing? They're saying, I'm requesting the contested omnibus in this file be continued to allow the plea in the other file first. Once that case is sentenced, the state would dismiss this file. So once this one's dismissed, the state would dismiss, or once that one's pled out, the state would dismiss this one. I've spoken with Mr. Gallagher, April's attorney, who has no objection to a continuance. I'm sure he doesn't. I've never before myself ever been in a situation where, hey, we're looking at dismiss, and we're like, no, we want a trial. No, you're not going to get away that easy. So what does this mean? Well, guys, on January 24th at 11:15 a.m., Nick is going in for his plea hearing, and he is going to go in. He's going to be, he's going to enter and engage in a plea colloquy with the judge. The judge is going to talk to him about a bunch of basic things like, who are you? How old are you? What's your citizenship status? Because remember, chat, your citizenship status for some offenses can lead to deportation if you are a non-resident or if you're a naturalized citizen. So if you gain citizenship, felony convictions can lead to it being stripped away from you. So from there, they would talk to Nick, and that's not an issue with Nick, but you have to go over it. They will go over Nick, his constitutional rights, his education, whether or not he's, your education, your literacy, can you read, write the English language spoken? Do you understand your constitutional rights, the rights you would have at trial? Go through all of that. Does he understand the nature of the charges? Does he understand the nature of the penalties? Has he been satisfied with his counsel? Does he understand how this would work as far as the entire process, that this might be set out for a sentencing at a later date, or he could theoretically be sentenced that day, that the judge doesn't have to accept the plea agreement before him. All the other things that are set up like this, that he could be put on probation, how long probation could be. If he's sent to prison, could he be released on parole? How long that would be. All the different things that would happen, his rights to appeal. All of that will happen at the plea hearing, and Nick will acknowledge those. And at some point, court's going to say, okay, with all that being said, the allegation is that on May 21st, 2024, or something like that day, you did possess, however much drugs they agreed upon, because he was teetering on the brink of second-degree felony and third-degree felony. So they might let him lower it down a level. We don't know yet because we don't know the terms of the plea. And at that point, Nick is going to have to say yes, and the judge might, say, what happened here? And, Nick might have to allocute and say, yes, I possessed all this cocaine. Yes, I possessed guns at that time. And yes, my children were in the home. And then the judge will determine whether or not to accept his plea. And from there, presumably, he would find him guilty and then set it out for sentencing. Because this is a probationary offense and he would get probation for this, there's a presumption for it. They'll set it out, do a pre-sentence investigation report. And in that report, they're going to sit there and talk to Nick. And it's run by the probation department. And they sit there and talk to him about all the stuff the judge would really need to know to make a proper sentence, about Nick. Like, how old is he? What's his health? What's his mental health? His physical health? How's his family life? What is his family made up as? His employment history, his education, his family history. Any of the stuff a judge would like to know about what's going on with him. And then from there, Nick obviously will have the opportunity, and his attorney will, to speak at that sentencing. But in the meantime, that gives the probation department a chance to verify a bunch of information and give it to the judge so he can make a basic idea of what he's thinking about doing. Also, a lot of times in these PSIs, that's what it's called, a pre-sentence investigation report, you're asked to provide a statement about what happened. And sometimes you give it orally to the probation officer, or sometimes you have to write it out. And this is where one of the ways you can make or break things as far as what the judge is teetering on one form of sanction or another. Because when you tell the probation officer, and I've had clients do this before, and they're like, look, look, I'm just here because, yeah, I think this is all bullshit, but I'm pleading out because I can't risk going to trial because I think I'm going to lose. Guess what the probation officer's doing? Tell me more. Okay, and if you write that out, guess what? That gets typed, that gets put into the report as well. So there's a lot of ways to sabotage it. We'll see what happens. So that is what's happening there. Nick is taking a plea, and it looks like in exchange for that plea, April's going to get her case dismissed. Now, what does that mean for Kayla? Well, we don't know what that means for Kayla. And Nick tried to allude to that last night when he was talking to Camelot, saying, well, you guys don't know what's going on. And that's a long time out. And they have 6 months is a really long window. So I don't know what's going on with Kayla's case there. Like I said, when I noted it, yeah, she's got a thing in June. That doesn't tell me anything. There's a million things, and there's a bunch of speculation I'm not going to get into because I don't know what's going to happen. Now, I will state this part so far. Did I think they were going to just dismiss the case for April if Nick pled out? No, I didn't. I didn't think they were going to play that game. I didn't think they were going to let him do that, but apparently Nick was able to strike that bargain. So that is one of the places where, and I've told you before, when I'm wrong, and I'll admit to it. I did not expect this. So good for April if she's getting a bail out of this. Good on her. So Kayla's getting the shaft. I don't know. I don't think so. That's not guaranteed here. I mean, it's 6 months out, so I have probably 3 or 4 different ideas on what's going to happen there. One of them is this, but I don't know why it's 6 months out. But I have some theories, so I won't bring those up because I have no idea to base them on at this point. And I don't need to give you guys conjecture. Joe Smo, you had a fire, man? Oh, gosh. You had to evacuate from the Eaton fire. Oof. Hope you guys are okay. Your house came within a couple blocks. Well, I'm glad you guys are all right. And, yeah, glad the fires didn't get your house, Joe, over on Rumble. So, good stuff. So, Kitty saying, wrong fact in the PPP voice. Oh, Alpha Fox says, imagine Nick pretending to stream while making ramen in prison. Okay, look, he's not going to prison. I've already said that before. But yes, ramen is a very common staple in prison. Guys around the store will sell a lot of ramen, sell a lot of soups. So ramen's kind of one of the basic commodities there. So that is that situation. And we found out today, and this is the case here, the judge granted the continuance. So if you guys didn't understand what was happening there, they were requesting the continuance, and this is the case for April Diane Imholt. And there was a continuance request for the omnibus, and the judge said, granted. And they are going to be tasked by the court administrator on January 24th to determine to review if dismissal will be filed before setting a hearing. And that makes sense. There's no point setting a hearing if we aren't going to have, if we think it's going to get dismissed anyway. There's no point in doing that. So that makes entirely perfect sense. So that is the update for the RQ, the Ricada question. I know you guys were all asking about it. Assholes React has been a member for 1 month, says, when will you be getting your flower tattoo? Never. If you're waiting for that, you're going to have to suffer. You are going to have to suffer, chat, because that ain't ever fucking happening. I don't even know what is, I know a lot about Ohio, but what is Ohio's flower? Probably the dandelion. Or the orange beryl. Oh, it's the carnation. That's not that bad. I know it is. It's 2.0's favorite flower, chat. That's why I try to find her with the bouquets if they have carnation blends, because they don't just have straight carnations. I think they Every once in a while they do, but when I get her flowers, it's tough because it's either like all roses or it's like the carnations along with all the other like garbage flowers. So, which sucks, but it is what it is. Um, the scarlet carnation, yeah. You should get a carnation tattoo on your belly. No, I'm all right, chat. I'm all right. I know you do. You know you're sharing with the internet right now. They can hear you. Okay. Yes, I like carnation instant breakfast. I remember that stuff as a kid. It was good. Yes, carnations last a very, very, very long time. Very, very long time. You can plant carnations in flower beds. Yes, you can. Is that the Christmas flower? No, that's the poinsettia. That's the poinsettia. And that's the one that kills animals. Winter Soldier says respect Nick's pussy patch. Okay. All right. All right, chat. So moving on from there, moving on from that stuff, we're getting into the actual things we had scheduled for tonight. First thing here, this is a bit interesting. Bo Jackson, Bo knows everything. And this is something I wasn't aware of until I saw what had just happened recently. But this goes back. We need a little bit of backstory here on this one. Selene says, "I didn't know poinsettias killed animals." Yeah, they do. They're not good. Not good. Not good. Bo Jackson Horseman, no. So Bo Jackson was in a lawsuit with some of his family members who were trying to extort him. And like I was reading about this, and this is crazy. This is like very interesting. It's weird, but not in a funny way. Not in a funny way at all. So, and they talk about Bo Jackson won a $21 million verdict in a case against his niece and his nephew for trying to extort him. You read that right. $21 million the jury found for. Like, who, buddy? Who, buddy? He also got a permanent injunction against his nephew, Thomas Anderson, and his sister, Erica Anderson, Ross, for further bothering or contacting him or his immediate family members. And they have to stay 500 yards away from the Jacksons and remove any social media content about them. Holy, like, that's so fucking crazy. It's one thing you have to stay like 500 feet away. 500 yards away. That's 1,500 feet away. You have to be so far out there. That is just like, you're like, whoa. That's a damn thing there. No, Stacy, not that Miss Jackson. Cedar Rose says, who is Bo Jackson? Bo Jackson was the man. Bo Jackson is a famous football and baseball player in the 1980s. He played for the Raiders, and he also played for the Kansas City Royals. He is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. The guy was a tank. So he was the first, like, he did that whole Deion Sanders thing, playing in the NFL and doing all, like, and then playing baseball. But he was a big dude. He's famous for, among other things, running through an outfield wall to catch a baseball. And he ran through it at full speed. He snapped a baseball bat, like, barely even trying, over his leg. Like, he was a jacked guy. And it's sad because he had a degenerative hip disorder that basically removed him from playing, and he had to retire from both sports. He was pretty cool. He was super, super cool. It's a shame that he had to retire because he was, you guys have never seen Bo Jackson. Here is, like, this is, let me see if I can find a picture of Bo Jackson stamping the bat. Like, he was a big dude. He broke it over his helmet. My bad. But yeah, here's like, this is Bo. This is God, the MLB is gonna get mad. Okay, well, I'm not showing it there because they don't deserve. Um, they don't deserve it unless they own all of it. Well, let me see here. You know what? We're just gonna show it anyway. We're gonna show it. Here you go, MLB, do your worst. So this is Bo Jackson playing in the Kansas City Royals, and here he goes. Yeah, he's the first person to come back and play after they got a hip replacement. Yeah, but he wasn't the same after that. But look at him; he is a monster. Look at how he's built like a brick shit house. And I don't know why you'd want to have a brick shit house because part of the idea is you fill up the hole and then you have to move it around the property. So
problems there. Jackson with a broken bat, one hopper, right back to Aldridge, and the Royals are out.
Yeah, he was known as being a pretty tough dude. He's famous for, just being unstoppable. If you had him when you're playing Tecmo Bowl on Nintendo, you could like literally dominate with him. He was the best. Yeah. Bo didn't need a cutoff man. Yeah, that was the thing. He was in the outfield and he could throw from the outfield to into the middle of the field. But I mean, like, just he is a monster of a human being. Just like, hold on here. Let me rewind this back to. Yeah, I mean, like, he's just a big dude. Look how big he is compared to everybody else. This is the 80s, and I don't, he was pretty natty overall. He wasn't a huge. I don't think there's a whole lot of allegations he had steroids. But anyway, he had a $21 million lawsuit that he filed. And they tried to extort him for $20 million. So that is the thing here. They tried to extort him for $20 million. And this all started when they were threatening social media posts and public allegations to lie about him. And this caused them a lot of distress. And they said that they would release photos of his medical records to show America that he wasn't playing around. So they were going to threaten him with all of his medical information. And the Andersons, with a local attorney, demanded the money in exchange for ending their conduct. They threatened to appear at a restaurant near his home, disrupt charity events, and do everything they could to intimidate him and harass him. He feared for his safety and that of his family. He sought a stalking protective order, as well as unspecified compensation for their intentional infliction of emotional distress. He also brought a civil conspiracy claim against the siblings. So he kind of did a RICO, but apparently it was a RICO. So ultimately, the court found there was no legitimate purpose, and that even after receiving a cease and desist, they continued. So, and it's interesting because neither the Andersons nor their attorneys rebutted Jackson's claims or participated in the case after the judgment was happened. So the judge found the Andersons to be in default. And he had a $20 million judgment, and the court granted it to him. Now, what happened, and this is actually pretty magnanimous of Bo, he gave up, and this just happened. He gave up his $21 million judgment against them. He let it go. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, no. Uh-oh, chat. We got an F to the chat thing here. Uh-oh, Bob Uecker died. Oh, no. That sucks. Bob Uecker died. Rip. If you guys didn't know, he is the announcer for the Milwaukee Brewers, but he's also the guy in the Major League 1 and Major League 2. So yeah, he's shame. F in the chats. 90. I thought he was older than that, but there you go. Yeah. But yeah, he'd been a broadcaster for over half a century, over 50 years, chat. So yeah, that sucks, guys. That sucks here. Bob Uecker gone. Oh well. But yeah, that's if you like the Major League movies, and remember, coming up on spring training, it'll be time to talk about them. But as the groundskeepers say, they're still shitty. So let's get back to this. So Bo Jackson gave him a $21 million judgment against his niece and nephew. That's pretty that takes a lot, especially after they did what they did to him and he had to sue him. So they talk about this. He gave up his $20 million judgment against the people who harassed and extorted money from him. So they tried to intimidate him out of $20 million. So the judge also included a permanent protective order, and the other they stay 500 yards away, and that's insane. So that is. Now, this is the thing that happens, chat. When you default, there are times where you might be able to get the case open if you don't show up. And some of those times are we didn't know anything had happened, we messed up. And generally, a court's going to allow a default to get reopened just for the sake of fairness. And like, we might as well actually let the case play itself out. So a new lawyer was hired by his niece and nephew to set aside the judgment and dismiss the lawsuit. And from there, they also asked to throw out the order of being told you have to stay away 500 yards. With that said, though, in the meantime, the parties have conducted 2 mediations that have reached a private agreement. So the judge issued an order vacating his previous ruling at the request of Bo Jackson and his niece and nephew. So what does it say, though? What do they have to do? The niece and nephew shall pay, Bo Jackson. So there's no damages being awarded to Jackson or his niece and nephew, and that everybody pays their own attorney's fees, which is a common thing. It also says the Andersons must not harass or intimidate Jackson and his wife and children, and they must stay 500 yards away from them, except if they're going to court, if they're going to sporting events, and some family functions. And then otherwise, they have to stay away from Bo Jackson and his family. But wow, they must be complete pieces of shit if they're that bad and that nobody wants to fucking deal with them. So very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, when you can't trust your own family. Yeah. Yeah, that's Speaking of passing, any update on Mama JF? No. No, chat. No, I have no update there. But I thought it was very interesting, guys, and that's you can reach a mediation. You could do a lot of things in the lawsuit. If parties are willing to work on it, and in this case, Bo Jackson did say, okay, cool, let's talk. He could have said, fuck you guys, I ain't doing that. We ain't talking. Deal with the settlement. I'll settle for the amount you owe me. Pay up, sucker. Like, he could have done that. But Bo Jackson, I think, more wanted them to stay away from him and not put their name in his mouth, put his name in their mouths ever again. And this is the trade-off. So, that's probably ultimately what he really wanted anyways, them just to leave him the hell alone. So it is very interesting. They talked about this, and it's just, yeah, Bo Jackson being a good guy, willing to resolve and be amenable to things. Now, from here, chat, we are moving on to. Oh, Kitty saying, "Oh, my sweet patat." Yes. Job well done says that's a shame. Most of the Mama JF story is just speculation. Yeah, the Mama JF story is crazy. Yeah, well, something happened. We just don't know. And I already talked to Worski if he could save me all these clips that they use, because when JF Garife, the smartest scientist in the world. Yes, he is so smart. He goes, how you say, gets indicted. L'indictment. Gets indicted back over in Eastern Canada. I will want to cover that because I think it will be hilarious for them to do. Yes, I am, how you say, the smart man. Oh, yes. So JF had a holiday meltdown, apparently. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Bato saying, really excited for the stream tomorrow. By the way, Harden's taking rest of the cleaners. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll be doing a Russell Greer update, chat. There's a lot going on there. So I fought that yawn to the death. Yes. So, all right, chat. We need to catch up on a couple things here real quick. Manny B says a world without Taka is like a body without a soul. Very, very, very poetic. Thank you. Thank you for being here for 6 months. And holy cow, we got a little green train here. And Bibliophile's been a member for 5 months. And he says, get thee hence screens. Yes. Yes. Have at thee. Yes. Yes, you better pick up that gun and defend yourself, Grays. We're coming. We're coming, Grays. And what are we going to start? EDW Raptor gifting 5 subs. Ag Biochemist gifting 5 subs. And then Cheryl Morin gifting 10 subs. You know, 10. And you know, so we don't speak French here, the bon français. And then Hunch, the Dirty Roofer. Hunch, it's good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well out there. I know it's a little cold out, but hopefully the roofing game is, hopefully you got something to do. Is gifting 10 subs himself. Thank you guys for the support and the generosity. Grays, that's it. Man, you better defend yourself. We're coming for you. You'd better defend yourself. The Chugi Show says, here is sending you in 2.0. Oh, he's going to send me in 2.0 matching press on tattoos. Aw. So nice. Tim Riggs, a new member. Tim, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate that. And I wonder if people have ever like gifted subs and then they got like gifted to themselves. I wonder if that ever happens. I don't know. Not really sure if that happens or not. So, Roscoe is 37 in July. Is saying, Sean, I would urge you to apologize to Nick and Kayla for airing their docket sheets on your channel. No apologies issued by Sunday, 1/19/25. There could be legal action brought forward in Ohio. Well, you're going to have to wait till Tuesday because MLK Day, the courts are closed. So, suffer. You'll have to suffer. And Assholes React says, when will you be getting your flower tattoo? Never. There's a better odds of Chinese paratroopers landing in my front yard than that ever happening. Let me just put it that way. So, okay. So we're going to move on here, chat. This is something that we don't know. We know a little bit about, but I think there's going to be a lot more developments in how this goes. And wrong thing, chat. It will be interesting to see how this plays out going forward. And this is the story about Kyron Lacey. He's from LSU. He's a wide receiver there. And he has been charged with basically causing the death of somebody while driving a car. And it sounds like he was driving like a big dickhead. And I don't know if there's any if there's any dash cams from any of the cars in the area. But he was driving like an asshole and has been charged with negligent homicide over a fatal hit and run that killed somebody. And obviously, if it killed somebody, because it's fatal, duh. But this happened on December 17th, but it took a while for the investigation to happen. Anyways, this is Kyron Lacey. And the Louisiana State Police confirmed that, he met with the police to turn himself in. So they issued an arrest warrant because he had left the crash scene. And what do we know here? And we do know a little bit about what happened from the Louisiana State Police. And this is what they tell us. So, a 2023 Dodger was traveling south on Louisiana Highway 20, and the driver of the Dodge later identified as Kyron Lacey. And he recklessly passed multiple vehicles at a high rate of speed by crossing the center line and entering the northbound lane while in a designated no passing zone. Yeah, that's not a surprise. As he was illegally passing the other vehicles, the driver of a northbound pickup truck abruptly braked and swerved to the right to avoid a head-on collision with the approaching Dodge. And traveling behind the pickup was a 2017 Kia Cadenza, whose driver swerved to the left to avoid the oncoming Charger. And as the Cadenza took evasive action to avoid impact with the Dodge, it crossed the center line and had collided with a Kia Sorento. Those Kias just find each other. And so, Chad, if you're trying to figure this out, how this is working here, so you got your road. Oh, here, we need to not do it right there. And they say following the crash, he fled the scene, and the guy in the Kia Sorento, who was a passenger, died from his injuries, which is like, oof. And let's see here. Let's see if I can actually find actually, I had the Google map earlier. I was trying to find this. And it was helped just so you can see what they're talking about here. And so this is what we're looking at here, chat. So this is the area here. And they talk about Perez Lane. So this is kind of like, yeah, you're getting into a city's area. You're kind of getting into a city. So you can't just drive around like Shack Bay, Louisiana. You can't just drive around like a spasmatron. So what did this guy do? He drove around like an idiot, it sounds like. It's not been confirmed yet, but he is being alleged. And, we'll talk about this again, as he said he was driving, and remember, this way is north. So with what he did here, and we go back to reading this, what did he do? He was traveling south, and he was passing a bunch of vehicles at a high rate of speed. So what was he doing? He was coming this way. And as he was coming this way, a truck in front of him stopped because something happened in front of him. He's like, okay, well, I got to stop. And he's passing vehicles. So we don't know what happened. So, I put that in the wrong lane. Duh, that doesn't help. So, that doesn't help the way I drew the arrows. So anyway, our young rocket scholar who's going to cure cancer is driving the wrong way at a high rate of speed. A truck coming this way stops, and we don't know why he stopped, but he has a right to stop for whatever reason. Was he going to turn? We don't know. So, he abruptly braked and swerved to the right to avoid a head-on collision. So he's like, oh shit, I got to go out and get out of the way. He went to the right. Right behind him was another car, and that car went to the left. Now, you might say, well, wait, why did this guy go to the left? Well, it's because Kyron Lacey kept coming. And he's like, this driver didn't want to get hit, and he ran into a car actually going on the correct side of the road, and they had an accident. So that's what happened here. And then he didn't stick around, and he took off, which, yeah, at this point, he is now being charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle. There might be some other things too, but that's what he's been charged with, and that's what he's facing. So do we know what's going to happen there? Well, anyway, Lacey's agent said he's fully cooperating, and, they're like, oh, we're so sorry. We want to help and take care of this accident and do everything the right way. And it's like, I don't know if that's going to work the way you think it will. Anyway, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because this guy's trying to get ready. I believe he's up for the draft. I mean, think about what they're going to want to do. If you're an NFL team and you want to hire this guy and draft him, you're drafting a guy who basically committed some sort of homicide offense and might not be around for a while. He might not be around for a bit. So that's going to be a little, Robert's saying, did he hit him, or was it from others hitting each other? No, this Kyron Lacey didn't hit anybody. What happened is, and we'll go back to the map here and we'll redraw it. We'll redraw everything to make a little more sense. So Kyron Lacey is, remember, chat, we'll do this here. So based on what happened, this is going north. Kyron Lacey's driving in the wrong lane of traffic. He's driving in oncoming traffic. As he's driving the wrong way, a truck in front of him goes, I'm going to get out of the way. Well, the car right behind the truck goes, oh no, I got to get out of the way. And what does he do? He actually turns to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. And as he's going to the left, Remember, this is the right side of the road, technically. There's a car going down the road at normally. So remember, he's passing cars, and they get into a car accident. And what does Kyron do? Or Kyrie, what does he do? He takes off. He just keeps driving. He keeps going. So he doesn't stop. I mean, that's still his fault. You cannot put people in a situation where your dangerous driving causes them. Oh, you guys can't see the screen? Okay. Sorry. Sorry, chat. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, chat. I didn't see the screen there. Okay, so I'll restart. Here's the north. He's driving the wrong way down the road. Because remember, this is he's supposed to be in this lane, okay? But he's not. He's driving in oncoming traffic. So the truck sees him and the truck goes, I'm going to drive and get out of the way. So there's a truck coming this way and he goes, I'm going to get out of the way. And he pulls off he goes to the right. Behind the truck is another car. And that car goes, and he goes this way. Well, what had happened in that time was as Kyron's passing traffic illegally, there's another car that's driving down the road on the correct side of the road as he's driving by like an asshole, and these two get into a big accident. These guys collide. And Kyron, after that all happens, takes his car, and he keeps on driving. He keeps on driving this way. So even though he didn't actually kill the guy, his actions are 100% responsible for it if this happened the way they claim it did. So yeah, they're going to make the argument he had caused everything. Had he, he is the direct and proximate cause. He's not the direct cause, but he's the proximate cause. But for him doing what he did, the guy in blue would not have had to swerve into oncoming traffic. EDW Raptor says he can start getting me docs. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I mean, but for his actions, this dead guy would still be alive. Now, they might try to make it an argument. I could see, Kyron's attorney saying, well, you have to be pretty retarded to swerve into oncoming traffic. And that's a fair argument, but you're also going to say, well, you have to be pretty retarded to drive like an asshole in oncoming traffic through a no passing zone. So, I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of this. He's going to have to eat something. I don't think they're going to let it go. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out for him. Alpha Fox says, this is superseding issue. No, because it's not a superseding act. You should presume when you drive the wrong way, people will avoid you. And sometimes that may mean, it's reasonably foreseeable people are going to go onto the shoulder. But people also might go across the center line to avoid you. I mean, you are allowed to do that if it's to avoid an accident. And maybe they thought they could get out of the way in time of the other car. Who knows? Maybe they panicked. Either way, had Kyron Lacey not been doing what he's doing, they wouldn't have had to do what they did. So Biden will pardon him. Yeah, no superseding cause equals black football. Typo above that. Oh, okay. So it will be very interesting, but this is why, doing a little bit of retarded stuff will cause problems. But anyways, this is the stretch of ground they're talking about. It's, it's a no passing zone and it's near Perez Lane. You're getting into a somewhat congested area, and it's, this is not wow, this is like way out in the middle of the buying. This is out in the middle of nowhere in here, but this is like there's churches, there's, all kinds of stuff here. And oh yeah, look, there's a cemetery with all the slabs over the coffin so they don't float. This is not a high-speed area. And I could see why there's no passing zone there. And even if you don't wish it to be a no passing zone, you kind of have to respect it. You don't just get to go like vroom, vroom, like that. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. So you can't do that. And I don't recommend you do that, chat. I don't recommend you do it. So just be careful going forward. Don't drive like an asshole. That's actually free legal advice. Don't drive like an asshole. That's free to you guys. That's all free to you guys. I actually give that one to you for free. Oh, EDW Raptor saying that speed limit is 35 in that turn by the church. Then going south after the turn, it turns 45. He is probably the first. He probably hit the first turn fast and overcorrected in the straightaway. Oh, sounds like you're from there. Sounds like you got some inside knowledge there. Okay. So the speed limit in that turn is 35. So right by the church here. So he's saying right here it's 35. And he was probably coming this way super fast, you're saying. And he overcorrected and got going the wrong way. Okay. I could see that. That could be possible. EDW Raptor saying here in the super chat. That's interesting. See, this is why I love you guys. You guys got that knowledge. You got that stuff on the ground. You got that stuff on the ground. There we go. There we go. Interesting. 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 Huh. Okay. That's interesting there. Okay. So he was going like 70, so he was going really fast. So thank you, EDW Raptor. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right. We got a couple more real quick, guys. We're going to knock out some of these. Oh, why do we have the banner still going? That doesn't need to be there. Couple more super chats here real quick to knock out. Swizgar is saying, Air participated in this degeneracy. It is not a win. No, that's not a win for him, but getting out of it basically unscathed was a pretty good win. So, that's the win. Ag is saying, Bo is huge. Very high T. Go Royals. Ew. Like the Kansas City Royals. Really? People actually unironically like the Kansas City Royals. I guess. Philip Kogan's been a member for 6 months. Thank you, Philip, for the support. Is saying Bob Hope introducing Bo Jackson in 1983 is funny. I don't think I've seen that one, but yes, Bo was actually a pretty funny guy too when he was doing all this stuff. And then Tim Riggs is saying for Bo Jackson's niece and nephew, was their attorney in any danger of being in trouble for participating in an extortion scheme? Attorneys get in trouble all the time. And next week, we are going to be covering a thing about a bunch of attorneys in New Orleans getting indicted for a massive scam they were running. They were involving a scam involving truck accidents. It's pretty interesting what went on. A lot of shit went down. Someone got killed. They had somebody basically killed over it too. So, yeah, very interesting. But yes, attorneys can get in trouble for that. You are not allowed to perpetrate, frauds against the court. So yes, he could also get in trouble for extortion and any other crime as well. Squizgar is saying David Lynch died too. Yes, I heard that. I heard that as well. So no more of the, if you can believe it, it is Friday, as he's does on Twitter. Sad. Jose Rodriguez says, enjoy death, announcer child. Thank you. It's yes. Oh, thank you, Jose. And then Tim Riggs gifting 10 subs and Scorpio 04 because the other 3 decided to get the name before him. Excuse me, gifted 5 subs himself. That's Grace. You got no hope tonight, man. No hope tonight. I rallied the troops. And I told them, y'all need to put in work tonight. You know what they all did? They all just went ahead and said that they said day is full. They looked at me and said, "Thy will be done." And that's all they heard. That's all they heard, and that's all they needed to do. Jerusalem has come for you, Grays. You better ride until your master, whoever he is. Then Ag says, don't allow LSU football players to drive sports cars. They must take Taka. My God. EDW Raptor says, I live 5 minutes from Chalk Bay. This is my home turf. Nice. And I can start working on those court docs for Kyron if you want. They don't do them online. I would appreciate that. Whatever you do, guys, I would always appreciate that. If you guys live in an area where documents aren't available online, but for a case and something that's going on, yeah, just down below, potentiallycriminal@gmail.com. Whatever you're willing to do, I would appreciate getting my hands on, because, yeah, sometimes stuff is hard to get a hold of. All right, so we are moving on, and this one's a bit funny. So, a judge in Chicago, she got in trouble. So, there's an issue here. This is a judge in Chicago, and she just got elected. She just got elected. And this is the problem here. So, she just became a judge, and she's in Cook County, Illinois. You may know it as the state of Illinois. She assumed office on February 2nd of 2024. So hasn't even been a judge a year. Her term ends in December of 2030. And she is been reassigned. So what I'm going to do is we're going to read the story first, and then we're going to get to what happened. Okay? Because we need to read the story first, chat. We need to read the story first. So here's what happened. She has her first 6-year term has been reassigned after circulating an image of a fake toy called My First Ankle Monitor, including a rendering of a black toddler wearing the electronic bracelet. And she had texted it to another member of the judiciary by mistake, saying, "My husband's idea of Christmas humor," as she sent it to one of her colleagues. That colleague then reported her. Now, she has been in a courtroom since April 2024, and she ruled on detention petitions to set conditions of release for people accused of crimes. She was an assistant public defender from 1997 until last year and handled murder cases for nearly 20 years. So she was an accomplished person. She's a public defender. You'd think she'd be a little more, well, actually, no, because you guys hear me talk all the time. But she said something, and she sent it to somebody, and the chief judge in that court reassigned her. And importantly, she had told people the message was intended for a close friend and was instead mistakenly sent to a fellow judge with the same first name. Now, here's the thing. She was a public defender. She was the most lenient of all the judges in this pretrial division. She rejected nearly half of the requests for detention. So she was very lenient towards defendants, very supportive of them. Now, they've been told that a former state's attorney who won a judgeship during the same cycle will be taking her place. And she's on timeout. So what did she do exactly? What did she do? Well, here's what she did. This is her, and then this is what she sent. So, off a TikTok meme. Oh. I'm just going to let you take it in for a moment, chat. Yeah, that's oh boy. Uh-oh, chat. That's you guys are like, "Sean, you should become a judge. I think you would really like it." This is why I can't do it. Like, if I was ever in a confirmation hearing to become a federal judge, for example, they'd say, "Mr. Martin, can you please send us your last 5 memes on your phone?" And I'll be like, I'd be sitting there, be like, "Yes, Senator. What is that? You want to see my last what? 5 memes?" Well, I withdraw my nomination. Thank you, sir. That would be the scariest thing of all. That would be so bad. I mean, You gotta be smart about what you're doing here, chat. I think it good says, where's baby's first switchy? I know, Che, you got them switchies out there in Chicago.
Switchy. No talk. No cap. No talk.
No cap, chat. No cap. No cap. Oh. Pam Graham says, I'm in Illinois. Where should being assigned to? Somewhere in Cook County. I don't know where. She's probably being assigned to a desk right now. She's just riding the desk until she gets disciplined. I don't think they're going to take her judgeship away from her, but oh shit, she going to get... The state bar is going to love her tenderly. Oh. Edward Scott says, I find it funny how America has devolved into what you can say mattering more than your actions. It works both ways. Apple can get caught using child labor, but it's okay because they say the right things. Yeah. And in this case, here's a woman who is against detention and supports people that get out and is very big on, and, you know, very likely it's Cook County. It's going to be predominantly black people. And she's very lenient towards them and lets them out, but she shows the meme and they're like, gotta go. Although, to be fair, this does call into question whether or not she's biased towards black people. I bet her stats don't show that, but if I was a white guy and this was a white kid here and she was a black lady, I wouldn't want to go in front of her. I'd rather go in front of someone else. I don't blame them. You might say, oh, well, she's based, but she also might not be. So you have to be very careful when you do this stuff. It's diabetes feet. Well, okay, yeah, that's a really rough looking foot, but Fire PA says that's enough internet for today. Yes, and it's like, shit. Yes, glorious. Panzer Dude says you should become a non-fat. I am working on that. I appreciate that. Sofa King Togue saying, what's the problem? I don't know. I don't like, yeah. What do you think she told that to the Supreme Court of Illinois? Like, what's your problem? Bunch of nerds. Oh. Not sure it says statistically speaking it's accurate. Okay, well. Adam A says, what is a meme? Mirth Logic says, whoa, what the fuck is this picture? It's a meme from TikTok. What's your Kiwi Farms account? Oh, Kitty says, throws phone. Nope, that's what I would have to do. If I was ever becoming judge somewhere, like, can we see your memes? Nope. I gotta push through. No, I'm not giving my nomination. You're not seeing my memes. They're bad. On any given day, they're bad memes. Yes. Mr. Martin, can you explain what the Uncle Ted meme? What about the glowies? Can you explain that? Mr. Martin, what is this meme about wooden doors? I don't understand it. Or what's this meme about train cars? And you're like, well, Judge, it goes to the idea of, it's like, yeah, I'm going to say that on TV. That'd be great. Oh, no cap. Yes. No cap. Is there a full body pic of her? No, and just like that court reporter with the feet. No, guys, I don't know what her feet look like. So, do we have enough room for all the criminals, though? Hell is saying, why is the leg the same shape as the kid's head? Because it's AI generated. AI sucks at things. Like, and also you'll notice it's AI generated. The foot only has 4 toes. So yes, in this case, there was not another win for the toe. The toe had to take a loss. Pattern recognition is verboten. Yes. And Anderson Cooper says the joke's on us. He's getting sent to a halfway house in Milwaukee to be turned into pepperoni. Yeah, but he's really little. This guy's really little. Look at how much pepperoni do you think you can get out of someone like him? He's too little. And besides, that ankle monitor is going to get caught up in the grinder and probably break it. So, can't just do it. He got the sugar foot. Got him. The sugar foot. Oh, chat. 4 toes and 0 nails. Well, that too. Oh, fuck Kiwi Farms. What's their OnlyFans account? You guys are quit being horny. Quit gooning. It's a Vienna sausage. Oh. All right, Chad. Well, with that being said, guys, just yeah, don't if you're thinking you're having a bad day, if you're having a bad day, Chad, it can always get worse. It can always get worse, and just make sure you send the right memes to the right places. You don't want to do otherwise. You don't want to do otherwise. You don't want to do otherwise. So, yeah. I'm just, you got to be careful, chat. Got to be careful. Now, this is something that it happened in I got to read more of these. Real quick. 4 toes, not human, so you can't be racist. It's little Patrice O'Neill. Oh my God. I think it gets to Judge Martin. What are these VODs under the channel potentially criminal? Look, if I was being nominated for federal judge, I would immediately nuke this channel. So, well, at least you don't have a hentai photo of you in 2.0 for your nomination. I understand that. Michelle saying, is she a Soros judge since she has been so lenient? No, I don't think there's any indication of any of that because, well, if she was a Soros judge, she probably wouldn't have that meme on her phone. But either way, we should be encouraging. Guys, I know you guys think I get the feeling you guys think I'm lying when I talk about the idea of the decarceral state. We don't need to put as many people in prison or in jail as we currently do. There should be an encouragement and there should be a presumption for pretrial release. Keeping people in detention doesn't generally help anybody. A lot of people get stuck in jail because they can't afford to get out. And, they probably don't deserve to be in there. And then their whole fucking life gets ruined. And we're probably going to end up putting on probation anyway. So no, generally, I think if you're on probation, if it's a probationable offense, you should be released. Now, I get it. If you've gone bench warrant and this isn't the first time, okay, I get it. Or if you're a super duper repeat offender. But, she was doing the right thing, limiting the amount of people in the jail because that causes problems for the community. Because now that person doesn't have a job, they lost their home, they lost their car, and now they're homeless, and now we got to take care of them. So there are a lot of problems when you detain people, and you probably don't need to. A lot of people in jail probably don't need to be there. Because then you end up with situations like in Atlanta where people are getting beaten and attacked and murdered and raped by the true violent animals in there, and they're in there for some, ticky-tack bullshit. Like, that's not what the purpose of in pretrial detention should be. Lorelei says, what do they put the ankle monitor on if the person's a double leg amputee? I haven't had that issue before, but I could say, they're probably not too worried about him running away. They probably just make him check in every day. I could see that. That kid has a sick fade. I know he does, actually. If you could get, I remember as a kid back in the day, like you could get the lines on the sides of your head, like in the 90s, like that was the thing. You'd have like 2 lines, like in the back, like on the side of your head. And they were not getting a fade that high up. Jeez, we never had that, but you get like little lines in the side of your head. Like that was the coolest shit in the world. Takes me back. But yeah, that is a pretty sick fade. There's some meme OPSEC, yes. The sickle cell gangsters. Yes. Mr. Martin, what is this meme? It appears to be about a ship named the USS Liberty. Huh. Well, Judge, it depends. Are you funded by APAC? Oh, you all are? Uh-oh. Oh, no. No. Oh. You see my hentai files, 14 terabytes. The one you know of. There's currently a Georgia senator in the Fulton County jail getting his back broken. Yeah, I did have a chance to look at that, but basically he got trespassed he got banished from the Georgia state Senate, and the governor came in and gave his State of the State speech, basically their State of the Union. And he tried to get in there, and the cops just basically like fucking body slammed him and took him to jail. So, yeah. Jail Dub saying a wrist monitor if you don't have 2 legs. No, because a GPS monitor for house arrest, it's a bulky thing. No, that'd be a bitch to have on your arms. That'd be ridiculous. So, Fruitfly State is saying football players in my high school had their numbers shaved into their sides. That's interesting. Yes. Manny Graham says that's pinstriping. No, where you just had like the 2 lines, and they didn't go all the way back. They just went like back part way. So, yes, Mr. Martin, what is the Baldo? Oh, did I had double lightning bolts in my ear? No. No, my barbers were not base enough to put runes in my hair. They were not that based. Yeah, white kids were doing it too, yeah. Are the batteries included for that toy? It's not a real toy. But no, the way those ankle monitors actually work is they have a charger, and it's got a fixed battery in it, and you have to charge it. And it lets you know as the charge is getting low. And it's like I tell people, as long as you sit around for and it's got like a long enough charger cord on it. But, like sit around, play like video games or play on your phone for like 30 minutes every day. I've even had clients tell them look, while you're taking a dump, plug in the charger, plug it up to your thing, and you should be good for good 10, 12 hours. So, yeah. Sneed World says you have to steal the batteries for the toy. Yes, Mr. Martin, looking through your records, what are all these payments from Stonies? And actually, chat, we should get to that tonight. We do have our sponsors for tonight. We're at the halfway point, so let's get to them. We've got our sponsors tonight. First, chat, it's thedragonstreasure.com, a haven for tea and anime lovers, also coffee lovers, and also, yeah, see, I'm hiding behind. Yeah, you can't block me out now, T-Man. And soap lovers. Once again, I think T-Man is working on getting those anime weebs to using soap. He is doing God's work. He is basically civilizing them by himself. 10% off. Use the promo code criminal, guys. Show him some love while you're out there. It's getting cold. Get some tea in you and warm you up. Then we also have friend of the show, Matt LaRosier, Fudbusters at maf-arms.com. maf-arms.com. The premier wind chime dealer in all of South Central Florida. You guys know him, love him. They are still doing their Yuletide yard sale. You guys can get various sales and deals there based on the amount of wind chimes you buy. And remember, use the promo code POCRIM, and you get 10% off your wind chime orders. Chat, spring's around the corner. Get your wind chimes ready now. Now is the time to get ready for the spring. Build your wind chimes. And, enjoy the sounds of your wind chimes as you get out to enjoy your spring. And then last but not least, Stoney's chat. That's right, Stoney's at 158 East Broadway Street in Rockville, Minnesota. Minnesota's premier biker bar. That's right, chat. Stoney's. They are on a mission to give you a great time. And yes, chat, I am sorry. It's Thursday, but it's $2.50 cans now. I did reach out to Aaron. I told him, man, they need to go and at least give you the first can for $2 because I could pitch that. It works. It's fluid. It's a great thing, but I don't know if they could do it. Thanks, Biden. Inflation in this economy is just so, it's the problem here, chat. But anyway, Stoney's is open, chat. They are open until midnight. It is only just now 9:50 out in Minnesota, so get on out there. You still have 2 hours, chat. 2 hours to get tore the fuck up at Stoney's. Enjoy yourself out on the patio. reclaim the patio, take it back from Aaron since he quit doing Twister out there. It is yours. Immortality. Take it. Seize it back, chat. Seize it back. Become a man among men out there. And chat, tomorrow night they got Benjamin Ray playing at 8:30. And Saturday night they got Grunge Box at 8 p.m. So that's at Stoney's, chat. Celebrating 30. Count them, 30 years. Oh. Hella says, Sean, check your DMs. I ain't super chatting you. I'm poor. Oh, okay. What? Hold on here. What happened? It is Ag's birthday. Yes. Hello, Ag. Happy birthday. I think I said it, but if I didn't, thank you thank you for reminding me, Hella, again. But happy birthday, Ag Biochemist. Congratulations on escaping from your mom this day, however many years ago it is. And then over in Rumble, Jody is saying, that's a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air haircut. Yeah. Joe Schmosh never send memes, only show your phone others. Then you can lie about what they saw. Oh, no. Yeah, no, that's it. True. And Joe Schmo says, can you do a quick TLDR about the Rackets foreclosure? I missed all of it in December for fun internet news stuff. Basically, Nick had like a mortgage taken out on his home, the big house where him and his wife and the kids live. He hadn't paid it. So the people who held the note filed foreclosure notice. In response to that, Nick was already selling the little house where April was staying, the Ho Shack. So he sold the Ho Shack to then took that money and paid off the mortgage that was delinquent on the big house. So yeah, that's it right there in a nutshell. People were freaking out and I said it wasn't going to be a big deal and it turned out, yeah, taken care of. So there you go. Steed World says it chirps when the battery gets low. It does. It really does chirp. It beeps. It really does. So. J-Rock says, ladies in chat, Ag is single and ready to mingle. Jeez. Oh, no, chat. So. Ag says, I'm barely older than April. Oof. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. All right, guys, moving on from there. Where are we? What do we got right now? Okay, so we are moving on to something a little more serious. And this is something that actually happened here in December and through November. There was a court case brewing down in Alabama, and it's kind of a funny result. So what we're starting off with is this case. We're going to touch on the case for like a second here, but it's a case of Pamela McCullers is suing Coke Foods of Alabama, Coke Foods of Ashland, and Coke Foods Incorporated, and a couple other fictitious parties. And what is this basically about? This is a case where this woman is suing Coke Foods for sexual discrimination, sexual harassment, hostile work environment, and a bunch of other things in federal court. So she filed her complaint in November. As we got to the Thanksgiving time, there was a motion filed in the court, and it was an opposed motion to extend responsive pleadings deadline. So the defendants moved, and here's what happened. Normally, you only have a set amount of time to respond in a court case. If you run out of time, you can ask for more time. And especially if a case just started, generally speaking, extensions and things like that are granted liberally because why the fuck not? Especially if you're not delaying. So the defendants respectfully moved the court for a 30-day extension of time. And they wanted a 30-day extension of time to file a response to the complaint until January 6th. So what did they say? Well, we got the complaint on November 14th. The current due date is December 5th. Because remember, you have 21 days to respond.
So undersigned counsel conferred with plaintiff's counsel on November 21st. And remember, chat, you have to meet and confer when you're having motions saying, do you oppose this? Because the court wants to know right away if you're opposed, if you're not opposed. And the court also wants you to work out issues between yourselves. So plaintiff's counsel indicated he would only agree to an extension deadline for the defendant to answer, but not if the defendant pursues a motion to dismiss. So they haven't figured out the appropriate response to that complaint. And they, what's coming up? It's the 21st. So guess what's next week? Thanksgiving. The defendants require more time to complete an initial investigation and determine the appropriate response. They say we need more time. But as of right now, we're not going to have the time. And we want 30 more days, which will give us till January. And that gives us time to do it, not have to be rushed around Thanksgiving. Because remember, Thanksgiving was late this year. And even then, Thanksgiving eats up a good part of that week. So let us get it in and then we'll deal with it. And, the plaintiff will not be prejudiced by the 30-day extension requested by the defendants. So they're pointing out, we can't get this done. We need help. Judge, they won't agree with us, so we're asking you for it. And the judge got very pissed off. The judge got very pissed off here in this case. So this is kind of funny. It's kind of funny what happened here. So the judge had to get involved, and the judges hate getting involved in these things because you're supposed to govern yourselves in these types of matters. So what happened? Well, on November 26th, the judge filed something. And here the judge filed something. He says, order. So before the courts, the opposed motion to extend. And he says the plaintiffs have conditioned their consent on the promise that no motion to dismiss will be filed in response. Now, here's where the judge gets mad. He says there is generally no good reason an extension such as this should be opposed, let alone denied. And he says the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, is not just a good rule of thumb for everyday life. It's a critical component of the legal professional arena. And it is. You generally you work together because you know what? Word gets around if you're a fucking asshole. And then guess what happens? Someday you're going to need time and nobody's going to fucking help you. So it's a collegial environment. You're supposed to work with opposing counsels here. You're supposed to work together. And he says, sadly, in recent years, compliance with the rule is becoming rare and rare in the litigation arena. It is time to reverse that trend, even if it is only in this case. Well, this case, got all over the place. Everybody, a lot of it, attorneys all over have heard about this. And it's hilarious. So here the counsel's conditioning of any agreement to an extension was wholly inappropriate, particularly in light of the looming holiday. Such nonsense wastes time, damages relationships, and makes the lawyer withholding consent or conditioning it to appear petty and uncooperative. Judges expect lawyers to handle minor procedural issues like extensions without conflict, and refusing to do so is unprincipled. And he says, conditioning or denying consent to an extension in this way is fiddle-faddle for an additional reason. It rarely provides any legitimate strategic advantage. Everyone encounters unexpected delays, and extending professional courtesy really costs nothing. But fostering goodwill by agreeing to short extensions could benefit counsel later in this case or in future dealings with opposing counsel. The court's job is to address the merits of the case, not to navigate a world of technicalities. Refusing a reasonable extension request stinks of petty gamesmanship. Professionalism demands lawyers pick their battles wisely, and minor extension requests simply are not the place for unnecessary posturing. So, the plaintiff's opposition is meritless. So, if for these reasons, the defendant's answer response pleading shall be filed on or before January 6th. He's giving them that 30-day extension. And then here's the funny part. Finally, the court orders that on or before December 31st, counsel for both the plaintiff and defendant are to go have lunch together. Plaintiff's counsel will pay the bill. Defendant's counsel will leave the tip. The parties will discuss how they can act professionally throughout the rest of the case. Within 10 days of the lunch, the parties shall file a joint report describing the conversation that occurred at the lunch and the amount of the tip. Notice that's been italicized. So that you're going to see why I think that was taken that way. And this was done just November 26th. So they have the whole month of December to figure this out. Well, chat, they did figure it out and they did file a report. And this isn't a joke. The judge fucking said do it. So guess what? Guess what happens? You fucking do it. You do it. Now, this is kind of in the same vein as Judge Glanville ordering the one attorney to buy lunch for other counsel in the YSL case, but it's a little different. It's a little different. Trey saying, can the judge do this? Oh, he sure as fuck can. And look what happened. December 19th. Joint report regarding lunch. And now here's the thing. This judge is doing this to enforce order in the court. And part of his job is he's sanctioning the parties. So, yes, this is fully within his purview. This is not that outlandish. It's very creative. It's a very creative solution here. So, yes, could the judge do this? 100% he can. So, Barnes would have filed an interlocutory appeal to strike the lunch requirement. Yes. And this is the judge saying, you better stop before I turn the car around. Yes. And Mofo saying, hail, faggots. Well, hello. So anyway, here's the joint report regarding lunch. And notice, they're saying pursuant to the court's order. Like, this is a legitimate, they're not joking around. This is being officially done. This is officially being done. So on December 16th, undersigned counsel met for lunch at Saw's Barbecue in Hoover, Alabama for over an hour. The discussion covered the practice of law, families, some big ticket items for the holiday season, everyone's small town bona fides, and the plan for communication going forward in this matter. A healthy dialogue regarding professional norms ensued. Plaintiff's counsel paid a $74 bill, and defendant's counsel left a $74 tip. And it was submitted on this date, December 19th. And remember, they had 10 days to file it. So they got it done. And it's for counsel for plaintiff and counsel for defendants. So it's a very real thing here, chat. It's a very, very real thing here. It's a very real thing that happens. Yeah, it's respect. Garrett says, I'll take 2 whole chickens and a loaf of dry white toast. Oh, yeah. So a $74 tip. Where do I apply for that place? Well, yeah, but this is all being expensed. These guys are being like expensed, and these are like, it's for a law firm. So they're able to take care of that and do that. So it's not really the issue there. That's kind of what happens. I just thought it's funny to cover this because Steve Roll says, take my opposing counsel to Stonies. Yes. 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 This is you guys are being ridiculous over here. Wow. Okay. So we're done with that. We're done with that. But yeah, it just shows you what the court will do and how the court will govern things. It can do a lot of stuff. And that was a better way of spending his time than the judge hauling him in and saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? Or I'm reporting you to the bar, or I'm going to sanction you, or we're going to, the judge could have said, like, you're going to sit in my courtroom and you're going to order lunch and sit across from each other. Judge is like, go out there and be adults. Go out there and be adults. Tim is correct. He says, Wise moved the tip the same amount on the bill. Yes, 100%. I agree. He should have done that, and that was the right move. That was the right move. So, Anderson Cooper says, wonder how much they drank if it was 74 at a barbecue place. I don't know. Barbecue can get pretty expensive pretty quickly, depending on what's going on there. So, it can get very expensive. So you got to be careful. You have to be careful, chat. You have to be careful about that. Okay, so let's see here. Okay. So moving on from that to a little more of a serious issue here. Patty says, so yes, the clients will pay for that in the end. No, I don't think that's going to be proper. I don't think the clients are on the hook for that because that's a court sanction for the attorney's conduct. So I don't think that's ethical for them to actually charge that. I don't think it's ethical to bill your clients if the court sanctioned you as an attorney. Besides, it's a tax write-off. You just write it off on your taxes, expense it out. They won't be able to, that won't be an issue for them. Anderson Cooper says, imagining the magistrate ordering Russell Greer and Matthew Harden going to lunch. Oh, no. That would be rough. That would be rough. Oh, no. Patty says, can attorneys or a sanction bill the client for that? No. I mean, unless it was something the client caused and the client got a sanction, like, then maybe. But no, generally that you're going to eat that. You're going to eat that unless it's specifically put on your client. Especially only for $75. You know, just eat that. Just eat that. Literally eat that. Whiskey Chick says, imagine the slobber of Russell Greer. Yeah. Just putting the food in. So, Matthew, do you like hookers? I like hookers too. I like stuffing under the floorboards of my apartment. Oh, God, that would be rough. That would be rough. So, moving on from there, chat. The DEA is... Actually, you know, we're going to skip ahead here. So, if you guys remember, back in 2023... there was a guy who tried to ram at a Lafayette Park in Washington, D.C., and was trying to, with a U-Haul truck, and was trying to basically turn in, and as his idea was ushering in the destruction of the United States. If you guys remember, he did this. This is what he did. And when he came out, the police are like, they had already unfurled his Nazi flag that he had done. And it was a little odd because the guy who did it, well, yeah. Yeah, the modern, the Hindu face of white supremacy. So I know we've covered him a couple times and talked about his case as it went and his mental health evaluations. Well, there's finally a resolution to the case. He got sentenced to 8 years in prison. So his attempted attack, his Nazi-inspired attack, he's going to federal prison for 8 years. As a 19-year-old, like, that's the thing. Like, but he's been in custody this whole time. So he's earning time. He's getting through it. And this is what happened. These bollards basically stopped the truck because these bollards are heavily reinforced, and they did their job. They go down deep underground, and they are meant to stop trucks like this. And from what we understand, he didn't go that fast anyway when he tried to ram these. So there is a video of him when the police came up to him and he's got his, like, notice they unfurled the flag. The police unfurled the flag. You're like, oh, that's not suspicious or staged. Yes, a true Aryan right there. A true Aryan boy. So he did, you know, and this is the thing that probably did hurt him a little bit. They talk about the unsophisticated methods were unlikely to penetrate the Secret Service security measures. The recent events involving the attempted assassinations of former President Trump, now President-elect Trump, 4 more days, chat, 4 more days until he's President Trump, simply serves to remind that individuals who carry such destructive intent are capable of carrying serious damage. So, like, that really hurt him. Had those 2 guys not tried to kill Trump, he probably would not have been attacked as bad by the prosecutors. But that's the problem. Those 2 assassination attempts really fucked him over You're like, just, oh no, chat. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So, yeah, 8 years for the boy. 8 years for the boy there. Yeah, doing the jobs we don't want to do. Oh, yeah. Alex says, I have Trump's day off. Yas. So do I. What better way to celebrate the great Dr. King by another champion of liberty and justice, Donald John Trump, reassuming the golden throne as the emperor of mankind. Yes, smart Pajit. Yes. Do you think at his plea hearing he should have been like his sentencing memorandum should have been, Judge, sir, I am Indian, sir. Please help me. I'm Indian, sir. Fucking help me. I'm Indian, sir. Do not redeem my prison sentence, sir. Sweet Tooth is saying, out of curiosity, can Biden issue himself a pardon? Why can't he? Why can't he? The pardon power is a plenary power. It's unlimited in scope. You can only not pardon an impeachment. That's all it says you can't do. So, yes, theoretically he can. Yes, please redeem. I did not redeem my attack. Where Tiger Ray says, I'm having a colonoscopy on the 20th. Oof. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. Yes. Sar, do not sentence. Sar. Oh. Oh, and that's Shame says, guess who's going to the inauguration? Ooh, good. Awesome. Lucky. Snoop saying, isn't that an Azov battalion flag? You're cheeky boy there. Cheeky. He's clearly Canadian. Yes. Sar, do not drive. All right, here, chat. So, getting on to some other things here, catching up real quick. Gemma gifted 1 membership. Gemma, thank you so much for gifting that membership. I appreciate your support and your generosity. Choosing to give out just to one lucky winner, one lucky recipient, that H1 green visa, truly turning one life into being better, making one life green. Thank you, Gemma. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Snoop is saying, did I watch any of Pam Bondi's confirmation hearing for Attorney General? It was Clyde approved. I heard some snippets, but I didn't get to watch the thing. And we might actually watch that since she is applying to be Attorney General. That would be actually kind of interesting. Oh, wow. We got another onslaught here. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves, Grays. Selena's gifting 5 subs. Natasha's gifting 5 subs. Tim Riggs gifted 5 subs. Nick Kreuzer gifted 5 subs. And then Cheryl Moran off the top rope again, gifting 10 subs. That's right, Grays. Oh, Lord. Lordy, Grays. It's going to be a rough night. Oh, no, chat. Oh, no. Grays are going to have a bad day. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Thank you guys for all your support and your generosity. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Just helping taking care of the Grays. Yes, we must secure the existence of our green people and a future for all green children. Yamal saying, is it true brand accounts can't go green? I think so. Sean likes saying subs, but he thinks it's all about sandwiches. Yeah. Snoop says, paying the gray away, or praying the gray away. Yes. Cedar Rose says, why are you gray? A Green Top Machine Tool LLC is saying, these are a lot more fun when I actually catch them on time. Yes, says Vince. Oh. So there we go, chat. On guys, Green Top Machine Tool LLC, he's got his YouTube channel up. So he's got unboxing his Steiner D-Ball D2 unboxing. Malik Snow with a 500,000 BTU blowtorch. doing some other stuff on some farm equipment that's out there. So, Chad, if you guys want to see what he's got going on, give him a look. Then also, if you need some machine or machine tool accessories, he's your place to go. He's your place to go. Is there going to be a Baldo unboxing? No. TJP says, I always get my Nazi flags from Amazon the next day shipping because Spencer's always out of them. Oh, so he'll be uploading more content when he gets recovered from his accident and posting machine shop stuff. Nice. Got to start doing stuff like that Australian cutting edge engineering. Those guys do like all kinds of industrial stuff. It's pretty cool. It's a cool channel. I'm hoping Sean will cover the Aussie granny incident. Oh, no, Jamie. Sorry, it took me a second. No, we're not doing that. Yes, Steiner. He'll get things under control. Well, yeah, Vank in the Ninth Army, too, will save you. Not. All right, chat. So we're moving on here. We've got... we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this. Okay. So this one's interesting. I don't know, we don't know a whole lot about it yet, but we are going to cover this. This looks like this will be an interesting case. So a U.S. guy who was hiding in France was extradited from France, and he allegedly wrote to his victim, "So I raped you," in Facebook Messenger. So a French appeals court announced that a guy named Ian Cleary, a man accused of sexually assaulting a Pennsylvania college student in 2013, is to be extradited to the United States. He was handed over to U.S. authorities in Paris at Charles de Gaulle Airport. His arrest in April followed a 3-year manhunt. So he's been hunted for a long time. I mean, look at that guy. That's a skelly right there, if you've ever seen one. So what do we know? What happened here? He's now being sent back to the U.S. after being caught in the run in Europe. He had told the French government that he arrived in France from Albania. That's always a great way to enter Europe, through Albania, the underbelly of Europe. So anyways, what had happened to him? Well, he'd been the subject of a warrant since from 2021. His alleged victim reported the assault after she saw Facebook messages he had sent her months later. And these were alleged to have included chilling statements saying, "So," and the way it's sitting there is almost like the Captain America meme. "So, you've been raped. So, I raped you. And I'll never do it again. I'll never do it to anyone ever again." He also allegedly wrote, "I need to hear your voice, and I'll pray for you," according to reports. Like, oof. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Joe Schmo says the H-1B visas are for Hindu Aryans. And the Shade Chasers hiding from the Greens on Rumble. Jeez. So this all occurred back in 2013 when he was an upperclassman at Gettysburg College. She claims that they were at a fraternity party. He sneaked into her dorm and barged in her room while she was begging for help. And it was the final night of her first semester of college. Well, that sucks. And then from there, according to Rain, they're talking about all the things there. Okay, yeah. So anyway, this is going to be kind of interesting. This is going to be a very interesting situation. I wonder how his case is going to go, if it's going to go to trial or what it is. But it does just go to show you guys, the government will fucking come after you. The government will find you. If you're hiding out there, the world is not a big enough place when people are trying to hunt you down. Now, yes, granted, he was basically on probably a red notice through Interpol, but that you're still being hunted to an extent. Like, you run to the cops, you're gonna have problems. I mean, it's not as though the Strategic Activities Division is hunting you. In that case, you're really fucked. But yes, the world is not a big enough place to hide. The world's not a big enough place to hide. Zach Sarian saying there's no evidence. Well, I'm assuming they saved all these messages on Facebook where he says, "So I raped you. I promise I won't do that to anyone ever again." I'm assuming they have pretty good evidence because it takes a lot for governments to extradite people, especially once you're in Europe. Like France is not a very extradition-friendly country. Now, if you happen to be a French citizen, like it's really not. So there you go. Yamal saying he went to a dumb place though. A smart place to hide by like Nicaragua. Well, here's the problem though. When you go, like the places that don't have extradition treaties with the U.S. or don't have nice relations with the United States are generally not places you want to go fucking hang out. Like Nicaragua, it's a third world country. Do you really want to go there? You're going to be at risk yourself from being, attacked and, victimized on your own. And it's not like you can go to the police because guess what? They're going to arrest you and then you're going to have problems. So you can't do that. You have to be smart about how you do this, chat. You can go to Pakistan. Yeah, that's not a good idea. Yeah, they also, you're in the Western Hemisphere if you're in Nicaragua. So it's not like you're hiding that well. Like you'd have to be going to places like, like Chad or Niger or, yeah, even Pakistan. The U.S. has a presence there. I mean, you shouldn't do crimes anyway, but that's a separate matter. Well, yes, depending where you're at in France, it's a third world country too. So Roman Polanski is a French citizen. Yes, that's why he has not been extradited. No, Mayo says, did the message have a watermark? Yes. Wrestler Town says, you can hide, but you got to commit to living in Laos. And Laos is full of landmines, so you'll fucking step on one probably for karma. Yes, easier still is don't become a rapist. Yes, well. Okay, fun police. Yes, don't commit violent felonies on people. And Sofa King says, just because they don't have an extradition treaty doesn't mean they won't extradite you. That's correct, but that helps you a lot. That makes it a lot easier. Isn't Snowden still in Russia? Yeah, but that's because he'll get fucking murdered if he leaves. So. Brazil is an in real life Dark Souls map, yes. Starling Leaf has been a member for 2 months. Thank you. Saying, Daddy Jim, Mr. Menaker is streaming on Saturday and the inauguration. Nice. That'll be fun. So, chat, also, if you happen to join us on Locals, we stream Snipe Mr. Menaker because it's always fun to sit there and hang out. So there you go. So be careful about what you do out there, chat. Don't do retarded shit. Going on from there, guys, where are we at with? I think we're almost looking like we're done here. We're getting to the end. We're getting to the end pretty far here. Okay. This one's a bit funnier. This is a bit funny of a thing here. So, guys, if you guys know Caitlin Clark, she's the NBA, she's a WNBA basketball star. She has a stalker, and he's been arrested. And he's right now he's facing a couple different charges. And he's been arrested for it. And he had a very funny court hearing when he first got arrested. So he's in Indianapolis, and he's accused of stalking Caitlin Clark. And he appeared in court Tuesday, talking about what's going to go on. And he's been charged with felony stalking, and he's been sending her messages nearly a month from his Twitter account. And some of the messages have been threatening and sexual. Well, I mean, what good aren't they? It's like, I thought women liked that. That's what 50 Shades of Grey was. But he's a guy from Texas, and he drove all the way to Indianapolis. And he did things like been driving around your house 3 times a day. Don't call the law just yet. Oh, yeah, that's great. That's great. He even threatened to buy tickets. He said, I'm getting tickets. I'm sitting behind the bench. And yes, it wasn't just him saying all that. He showed actually going from Texas to Indianapolis. That is a true thing. He tried to figure out where they are, and doing all of that really caused issues. And the FBI and everybody got involved, and they arrested this guy. So they arrested him at a hotel after he didn't stop messaging her. So he had been charged, and he shows up in his court hearing, and it's kind of hilarious. So what we're going to do here is we're going to show you guys what he did, because this gets pretty good. So here you go. Here we go on this. This is kind of funny. So he's a fan. I thought this was America. Well, yeah, that's it. But anyways, here we go.
Morning, Mr. Lewis.
Guilty.
No.
I don't know if you can. Hold on. We need to turn that up so you can hear him. She greets him and says, "Hello, sir." And here you go.
Mr. Lewis.
Guilty.
No. Sir, this is initial hearing. We are not. You have a right to remain silent, and I expect
Guilty as charged. No.
you to exercise that. Okay, this is just telling you what the charges are. You do not listen. I'll give you a chance to talk. Not your time.
Throw me the bookie.
Stop talking.
Now, obviously, I think he meant instead of throw me the bookie, throw the book at me. But that is, there you go. He looks like Trevor from GTA 5. Yes. Sir, this isn't a Wendy's. He's like, I'll do it again. Yes. Plea no contest. They won't let you enter plea at that point. So. Oh, he apparently meant guilty. Yes, he did. So. Yes, he said, show me the money. No, he said, throw me the bookie. Probably meant throw the book at me. So the Unabomber Redux. Yeah, it's the industrial slavery, but it's about the WNBA. So, yes, this is what happens when you create a character with zero intelligence in RPGs. Yes. And Tim Beattie, you're right. He's just guilty of love. He's just guilty of being in love. So, yeah, just, yeah. All right, chat, we got 2 more left, and we are going to round these out here. We're going to do the DEA story. Then we'll end with the last story in the title. But first, we're going to get to this issue here. So the DEA, as part of something that had been going on, as part of their Inspector General process, they had a management advisory memorandum issued. And its concerns notified in the Drug Enforcement Administration's transport interdiction activities. Now, what is this about ultimately? So this was done by Michael Horitz, the Inspector General of the DOJ. And it's about a program the DEA was running. And what was it doing? Well, this program was something the DEA ran at airports where they were basically hassling people and taking their money. So there are a lot of problems here. And there were significant issues with the DEA's use of consensual encounters at airport facilities and the management of its confidential sources. There were ongoing problems with this because they have serious concerns, chat. They're seriously concerned. Oh, no. So what happened here? Well, and somebody's saying, we'll get to that in a second. Hold on, where is that thing? So we'll get this in a second. So what are they basically doing here? Well, it's 22 pages, chat. We're not getting all of that. So the DEA was not complying with its own policy regarding consensual encounters. And they resulted in personnel creating potentially significant operational and legal risk. Now notice, significant legal risk, meaning violating the Constitution. That's how they phrase it. Violating the Constitution is, it's a significant legal risk. Specifically, they were not sending forms for each consensual encounter. The DEA was not doing the proper things there. They weren't doing what was required by policy. They would do a lot of things here that were improper. They did all of this, and it allowed them to, impose unwarranted burdens on and violate the rights of innocent travelers, imperil the department's asset forfeiture and seizure activities. And notice, they include that. By you guys screwing up, we might not be allowed to steal other people's money. If you steal every random person's money, they won't let us steal money at all. Notice that's their concern. That's their concern. And to waste law enforcement resources on ineffective interdiction actions. So, they say on November 12th, after receiving a draft of this advisory, the Deputy Attorney General issued a directive to the DEA to suspend conducting pending an assessment all consensual encounters at mass transportation facilities unless they're connected to an existing investigation approved by the DEA administrator or based on exigent circumstances. Okay. So this idea, and it gets in a little more in depth here. So this is in November. All right. Well, we're gonna move on to January 8th. January 8th. Because you gotta love government efficiency here, chat. What did the government do? So this is from Ann Milligan, the administrator of the DEA. And she's sending it to their chief of operations, chief counsel, chief compliance officer, chief inspector, and dated January 8th. And she said that the inspector general recently issued a memorandum advisory on the transportation interdiction program. And on November 12th, the deputy attorney general ordered the suspension of all consensual encounters conducted as part of that. They indicated that the tip may not be restarted without the deputy attorney general's approval. They also said no more consensual stops. They say, and anything not part of an investigation is prohibited. And they point out that if a confidential source is used, you must comply. You must comply with all the rules above. And you notice it's not, oh, hey, by the way, we complied immediately. Dated November 23rd, we're stopped. January 8th, we stopped. And it says, during the last several months, the Office of Administrator conducted a review of the TIP program, during which we evaluated the effectiveness, assessed the risk, and the extent at which it supports our core mission to save lives by defeating the two criminal networks in Mexico, the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels, which are responsible for the deadliest drug threat our country has ever faced. To meet this unprecedented moment and be most effective, the Clydes and dogs are in trouble. We are focused on target. What did he do? Uh-oh. Did he over the peens or what? I think so, oh no, Clyde got he got protective of the peens, the bull peens. He's gonna come right in here. It's like, Mom yelled at me, can you help me, fat man? Help me, fat man. In the chat's like, run, Clyde, run! Clyde is innocent. Free Clyde is what they cry. The people demand it of you. Free him. Yes, Iman Razu is like, that's 3 days in the Rakeda bathroom for you, Clyde. I would never do that to him. He's such a good boy. Also, I don't want him shitting all over the bathroom. So anyways, they talk about our goal is to target criminal networks and disrupt their global supply chain. Our strategy is working. Oh, yes, because the war on drugs is working, huh? The number of people who died from drug poisoning is down for the first time in 5 years. The toxicity of fentanyl in seized pills has also dropped for the first time since 2021. It's still killing a shitload of people. I lost clients last year because of fentanyl. That was the first time in years that happened. So, but we must continue to evolve. And notice, and they say, after reviewing the data, it became clear the TIP program is not an effective way to utilize our resources. For example, the seizures approximately totaled $22 million in drug proceeds. They stole $22 million and they got 57 arrests. So, yeah. Oh, it's not worth our time. It's not the fact that, oh my God, we're fucking with people. It's, oh, we didn't make that much money. Remember, chat, this is about making money. This is about making money. So, yes, during the same time frame, our predicated investigations focused on networks and illicit financing seized more than $1.4 billion. The global networks like the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels have expanded their money laundering methods and today increasingly use cryptocurrency. Oh no, chat, it's the crypto bros. If you support crypto, you're supporting the drug dealers. The internal review also found that we did not fully comply with the policy, including to document all encounters when they occurred. Imagine that, the cops not documenting when they fuck people over. So based on a review, and after considering the potential risk of continuing the program, like being fucking sued for violating the Constitution, I'm just saying that's what that means. I have directed the operations division to immediately cease the program and to work with SACs, the special agents in charge, the ball sacks, to redeploy those global supply chain and illicit finance investigations. We'll increase our focus on new methods, including cryptocurrency, for the money laundering. So, I'm confident the DEA will continue to save lives and achieve our strategic objectives by strengthening our network targeting strategy, focus on the global supply chain, illicit finance, and cryptocurrency investigations. Oh, fuck you, lady. Fuck you. Fuck you. Now, we're going to get to why this program was fucked up, because there's a lot more to it, chat, and Reason really kind of explains this here. So here you go. So why did they quit this program? Well, it gets really bad. So they announced in their memo last week that they were scrapping the program. And what did they do that was so bad? What did they do that was so bad? Because they seized $22 million. But the memo barely mentions the most important reason, because it infringes on constitutional rights. And somebody here asked about this, and I think I just want to point out Anderson Cooper saying, where's the Institute for Justice? They're here, guys. And guys, the Institute for Justice is a nonprofit organization defending rights of people out there, doing what the ACLU should be doing. If you guys ever want to support them or donate to them, if you go to ij.org, they are there. You could donate to them. They are a very good cause. If you ever want to spend money helping in lawfare, that's a great place to go, because they're fighting the fight everywhere they can. They are helping left and right. They've got cases pending for the Supreme Court. So if you can ever help them, definitely give them a look. They are good people. But the DEA was seizing money if the dollar amount was greater than $5,000. If you had more than $5,000 cash on you, they were taking it and seizing it. So why would they do that? Well, because they would. So how did this work? Well, this is a great video of it, but the guy is at the gate and the DEA takes his fucking bags. So the DEA claims they can do it. And notice there's a video here and we're going to watch it. Notice he says, I don't care about your consent stuff. What a fucking jackboot. So it is absolutely fucking garbage what they did. It's absolutely garbage what they did here. Where the hell is the video? I thought, oh crap, where is it at? Yeah, here we go.
Where's your bag at?
So this is from the Institute for Justice. And here's how this goes. Here we go.
I think it became kind of more and more shocking as he began to be very aggressive towards me when I declined his search. I am the government was his quote there.
Where's your bag at?
I don't consent to search, sir.
You don't have to consent. Where's your backpack at?
Yeah, see, like what's your probable cause of search here, you jackbooted fuck? And you're already on the airplane and he's trying to take your shit.
Where is it? Under your seat?
It got put away, but I don't consent to being searched.
I don't care
So
what
this is
God, I can only imagine. Like, I hope his wife doesn't burn dinner because I'm sure he probably beats her too. So,
For years,
anyways.
the Institute complete footage.
Bag down, and then you can walk on the plane. You can do that. But
No,
you can't take it.
you're not with the, what do you call it? I've seen these like videos of people. You're not with the.
I'm the DEA. I'm the government.
That's great. Do you have like legal ability to search?
Yes.
Right
Yeah.
I was in Cincinnati on a business trip.
Yeah, I mean, check this shit out. And they took his fucking bags. And they took his fucking money.
And I got sick the prior night, so I had to read.
Fucking patriot right here, chat. This brave man defending America. I don't know who you are, but I bet you need to be working at a truck stop somewhere, mopping up a glory hole. Brave patriot, chat. Bravest of the patriots right here. Defending America, stealing fucking money from people. Brave man right here. Bravest of the brave.
He booked my
True
flight
hero.
to a last-minute flight back to New York. He had basically just asked me for ID and to search if he could search my bags. And when I started to decline, he pulled out his badge and said that he was with the DEA. I'd almost imagine that this had to be some kind of mix-up.
And see, he had already cleared TSA screening, so it wasn't even like there. He had already been cleared. So,
Not you, but your
I'm not
bag.
free to go.
Not your bag. I've told you like
I'm gonna
20
walk.
times. You can't do
Am I being detained?
property.
And am I free to go?
Timeout.
there you go. Am I detained or am I free to go? You can't take your bag. Under what authority do you have to take it? And he probably would say, if you're my wife, I'd beat you, But anyways, here we go. Here's more.
The agent then followed David onto the plane, grabbed another passenger's bag, and tried to walk off with it.
Oh, that's my. Hey,
That's yours. Where's your bag at?
What a fucking asshole. He takes the wrong bag. What a fucking dickhead. What a dumb fuck cop. What a dumb fuck piece of shit. What a dumb fuck piece of shit. You're so fucking angry somebody told you no, and you're like, I'm going to take a bag. God damn, Yeah, well, hopefully no drug dealers ever see this video and then see him working undercover somewhere. That would be a fucking shame. That would be a shame, chat. That would be a shame. Absolute shame. So, I'm just saying, chat. I'm just saying there. But we get back to the article and they talk about what happened here. And, yeah. So, getting back to the article, they talk about a lot of the problems here. So, what happened? And he says, I don't care about your consent stuff. Yeah, how brave. How brave. The agent found nothing in David's baggage and David missed his flight. David's travel schedule was flagged by an airline employee who was a paid informant for the DEA. That's right. The fucking snitch was working inside the airplane company. Furthermore, the DEA agent never logged the search. What a fucking cocksucker. All such consensual encounters to be documented. I'm sure he doesn't log anytime he finds drugs, guns, or money either. I'm sure those all find his way into his pockets. Oh, I just don't log stuff. I don't know. Without the subject, the individual thinking to immediately use their cell phone to record the event, he said, we wouldn't have known about it because absent that video, there was no record of the incident. Gee, hopefully his wife carries a cell phone around when he starts beating her so she can record that too. So yeah, it's absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Well, it happens in Australia, but Australia's cucked. Jojo says de-escalate. No de-escalating. Like I said, I hope he's working an undercover gig and some bad guys see that. Oh, damn, that's a shame. But these have been going on for years. It's been going on forever. It's been going on forever, chat. But yeah, it's all this kinds of shit has happened. You know, there's a class action going on right now. One of the lead plaintiffs is a guy who had his $80,000 stolen by the DEA. After his daughter tried to take it on a plane with the intent of taking it into a bank. And only after it went public did the DEA return the money. Another one, they seized $40,000 from a lady trying to fly home. She said the cash was from the sale of a used car. And her husband intended to take to a casino. You know, in all these cases, the DEA accused the passengers of being involved in trafficking only once they were challenged did they give up. So it's just absolutely garbage what they do with this. It's absolutely garbage what they do here. It's absolutely horseshit what they've done. So, and the biggest problem is with this, these guys were cutting, the CI would get a cut of what they seized. They were getting a cut of what the DEA seized. And it was just an airplane employee who would flag people. And it was anybody who bought a ticket within the last 48 hours, they would randomly flag. Yes, don't carry cash. I agree. I mean, there are some things you can do, but here's the thing. It's not illegal to carry cash. Is it really fucking weird? Oh, I was going to deposit it in a bank. Why didn't you get like a bank check or have them wire it? I mean, for $40,000, they'll wire that. Or you can carry a bank check. Like, there are times where, like, you don't have to do it. But yes, there are ways you can avoid these problems. Because if you're carrying a check, nobody's going to notice. And you can put a check in your pocket. But you also have the right to wheel around a fucking suitcase full of cash. So there are, you know, it's up to you. They shouldn't be involved. They shouldn't be involved. Anderson Cooper says, yeah, no such thing as counterfeit bank checks. Well, okay, well, you could show up with the bank check, and if they refuse it, well, you still got it. So there you go. So just, yeah, the government will take your money. The government will take your money. We've heard about this for years and years, decades. People driving through the South getting stopped and the police seizing cash. Happens everywhere. And Torgo the White says, my legal tender, I agree. But it's the idea of how do you protect yourself from that problem? And there's a way you protect yourself is by not putting yourself in that situation. There's ways to avoid it. That doesn't mean it's right. It just means it is what it is. I'm not telling you what the law should be. I'm telling you what the law currently is and how to avoid those pitfalls. So, yeah. Yeah, strategically, I agree with you. I agree. So, by making it illegal to fight cops, they're doing this shit. Well, yeah, that too. But like I said, I hope that DEA agent, I hope somebody watches this and finds him in an undercover role later. That would be a shame. That would be a shame. So, just saying. Good luck, officer. Good luck. Now, moving on, chat, we got the last thing for tonight. Matthew Harris, the creator of Unbreaded. And if you guys don't remember Unbreaded, Matthew Harris was a philosophy doctorate student at the University of UCLA. And he kind of lost his fucking mind. He's of that age when you're a male getting through your 20s is one of the biggest times for schizophrenia to develop. Once you get to your 30s as a male, you're kind of safe and clear until you turn about 60. And then schizophrenia does have another chance of reoccurring statistically. It's not as bad as when you're in your 20s, but if you are a male and you can get to your 30s, you're generally safe. So this is the guy who did the whole, was behind the Manifesto Death Sentences, 800 pages of screaming racial epitaphs at people, and was part of Nick Rekieta's Unbreaded segment. And this is him, if you've never heard him before. This is where it all came from. So, and you're going to say, wow, this guy's crazy, and he is. So here you go.
Touchdown, paper, Unbreaded.
And he made tons of videos about all this crap. And he was just
machine gun.
You just see him looking on here, just looking like a loon. He talked to talk forever. So that was his big thing. That's where it all came from. He subsequently was arrested by the feds for having a firearm in possession while he was being alone, and also getting ready to carry out threats across state lines. So he was ultimately found not guilty by reason of insanity, and the resolution to that all happened 2 days ago. So this is kind of, remember I told you guys what happens when you get found not guilty by reason of insanity. The court has to figure out what to do with you, and the court has to do something. So this is it. This is kind of the last stop for Matthew Harris for a while. So it's in the District of Colorado, and it's USA versus Matthew Christopher Harris. And it's an order civilly committing the defendant to the custody of the Attorney General. So if you guys remember, there was a joint motion for an order committing him to the custody of the Attorney General. And it's pursuant to federal law. Now, remember, he had his hearing, and everybody agreed he's insane. He wasn't able to be restored by medical staff for a trial, so he was not able to be restored, so he has competency issues on top of it. So the court held a hearing on January 13th to determine whether Matthew Harris should be released or committed to an appropriate facility, having been found not guilty only by reason of insanity, to counts 1 through 4 of his indictment. And those were like threats in interstate commerce, filing a false statement to a firearm dealer. Remember, the thing Hunter Biden never got charged with. Look, we have proof it happened. Possession of an ammunition by a prohibited person. And they say, since these offenses involve a risk of substantial bodily injury or serious damage to property of others, the defendant bears a burden of proving by clear and convincing evidence. Now, remember, chat, clear and convincing is like 66%. It's like 2/3. It's above preponderance, which is like the 51% threshold, but it's below beyond a reasonable doubt. He bears the burden by proving by clear and convincing evidence that his release would not create a risk of bodily injury to another person or serious damage to others' property due to a present disease or defect. And they say for all other offenses, the defendant only bears the burden of proof by a preponderance of the evidence. So, for example, if you were convicted of or charged with multiple counts of forgery or money laundering, it's not a violent crime. Well, we don't think he's going to hurt anybody. Yeah, we're pretty sure. Good enough. But when there's crimes involving threats of violence, that you have to be you have to be fairly sure. So they talk about the underlying facts the Seventh Circuit uses, and ultimately, they talk about why the standard's appropriate. They say here there are some issues. He made threats via email of mass shootings on a college campus at UCLA. His violence towards feminists and other groups of people, basically all races. And he wanted to murder a former colleague. He had purchased ammunition in an attempt to purchase a gun. And they were aware of when he bought the gun, and that's when they went after him. And they said possibly giving him the means to carry out his threats. And the court will apply the clear and convincing standard because the facts and circumstances involve a risk of bodily harm or injury to property or another. So in September, they held a bench trial, and they found the defendant was not guilty of the 4 counts by reason of insanity. He had to undergo a mental evaluation to determine whether he would risk was harm. On December 3rd, the court and the parties received the forensic evaluation by a Dr. Tyner from the Federal Medical Center in Springfield, Missouri. Now, what is that Federal Medical Center? When you are in a serious medical situation, chat, in the federal government, you can get treated at the prison infirmary, but if it's really bad, and it doesn't require immediate emergency care, like if you have cancer, like Ted Kaczynski had, he was transferred to one of the federal medical centers, which is basically a prison hospital. And in this case, he was stabilized and put in the, mental health unit there at this hospital. And they concluded that Harris suffers from a mental disease, specifically schizophrenia, such that he'd be released, he would risk harm to others and damage to property. And the parties agree the risk assessment panel's evaluation presents sufficient evidence supporting the commitment. Now, obviously, saying the parties agree, does that mean his attorney agreed? Probably, because at some point, you have to say, yes, he does meet the risk assessments, and also you have to look out for your client, and letting him loose while he's schizo is not safe for him. At the hearing, Harris waived his right to be present to present evidence that his release in the community would not create the risk. So at that point, you're kind of like agreeing to it. And they say the court agrees his release would create a substantial risk. There's overwhelming evidence that Harris has the potential for dangerous behavior if released. And they say that, going through all this, his threats focused on violent mass shooting themes at a school and made statements he would kill or torture others. He was also, they find out that some of his statements led to restraining orders being issued for a university campus and a former colleague. UCLA got a restraining order against him. He was also psychiatrically hospitalized for a brief period after being aggressive towards his mother. He purchased the ammunition and tried to buy the gun after being hospitalized. Remember, that makes you a prohibited person. If you've been involuntarily committed. When the police attempted to arrest him, he barricaded himself in his apartment. So, and they say all the facts in the indictment and the government's motion for commitment convince the court he has not met his burden to show that he's not a present danger. So, he's in trouble. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of problems here. So, anyways, they say he suffers from schizophrenia and has a provisional diagnosis of unspecified depressive disorder in accordance with the criteria set forth in the DSM-5. And schizophrenia is a chronic and reoccurring condition that is best treated with a consistent sobriety, a structured environment, and treatment with antipsychotic medications. The report notes Harris has a history of inconsistent medication compliance and the overuse of stimulant medications. So he doesn't like the schizo meds, but he likes the Adderall. So that's not a help when you're trying to show people I'm not crazy. Well, this shows you are crazy. They do say that there are some risk mitigations. He is ongoing cooperating with the voluntary psychiatric medications, although in the past he has not complied with recommendations to continue treatment for his schizophrenia. So, and despite his parents' attempt to assist in his compliance, he does not appreciate the severity of his symptoms if untreated, or how this can significantly impact the risk to the community, which, being non-compliant with your schizo meds would be a problem. And Harris does not have a plan in place that would facilitate his continued compliance with his medications. He says, I can live with my parents, but it's unclear whether his parents are willing or equipped to take him in. Nor is there any requirement for him to engage in professional services, and his lack of follow-through with recommended treatment in the past raises concern for his ability to follow recommendations without requirements in place. So, yeah, everything he's done before, all his medical records are being used to determine whether or not he's a risk. And he doesn't take his meds, and he doesn't follow up with aftercare. So, yeah. And I say further, the abuse of stimulant medication may exacerbate his psychotic symptoms. And the level of oversight required is unavailable for him in the community. And civil commitment will provide the structure critical to his medication regimen and prevent him from future stimulant medication abuse. Well, what a bunch of prudes. Fun police chat. What kind of country is it where you can't abuse stimulants? Come on now. So, and third, it's the victim's impact in making its determination. The government has been in communication with him, and the victims oppose the defendant being released and want him committed. They fear for their safety and the community safety risk. And civil commitment will give the victims in this case a reassurance that he won't kill them, which he might. He might. It's not clear he won't. So, therefore, he is committed to the custody of the Attorney General pursuant to federal law. In accordance with federal law, the Attorney General can release him to the appropriate state officials where he's domiciled if such state will assume responsibility for his custody, care, and treatment. With that said, though, no state will assume such responsibility. The Attorney General shall hospitalize him for treatment in a suitable facility until the state will assume responsibility, or he could be released without risk of, that would not create a risk of bodily injury to another. Now, a status conference will be held in July His appearance will be waived, and the parties shall file a report 1 week prior to give up updates on the progress of his treatment. Now, that's the thing here. He's going to be committed, but they have to consistently go through and recheck on him. They are going to keep on rechecking him and reevaluating him and reevaluating him. Because if at some point he does not possess or pose that threat, they will release him. But they don't have that done yet. So, yeah, they got to do this in the meantime because we couldn't leave him alone. But they will come back every couple of months to check on him. So in about 6 months, they'll check again. There will be consistent updates. And eventually, he probably will get released. And they can only keep him so long anyway because of the crimes he committed. They can't keep him forever. Now, if they do need to do that, that's where a state government will get involved. And they can have him civilly committed. That might become an issue. If he truly is off his rocker, they might have to do that. But it sounds like if he gets medicated and stays medicated, they will release him. Yamal says, did all he do was a manifesto and threats? No, he bought ammo and tried to buy a gun. And he had done so much that other people had restraining orders against him. So when when all that happens, yeah, the government tends to get involved at that point. So yeah, low impulse control. Thanks, look up. In Best Korea, they invite you in for a nice cup of meth. Yes. Yes, and in America, if you guys, there's a joke. There's a North Korean propaganda video where they say, in America, the people eat snow and they have cups of snow and they eat birds that are in the park. So, yeah, unbreaded. Well, his bread, he'll be eating bread in prison. So, yeah. Matthew's drug of choice wasn't Taka. Anderson Cooper says, you figure the showing the guy of the YouTube videos that made when his meds were off would convince him to take them. Yeah, that's not how, that doesn't work that way. Trust me. J-Rex says, to be honest, I feel bad for the dude. Yeah, he's going to be stuck in a mental asylum of some sort. Like, those are fucking awful places to go. Yeah. Hope he gets better. Hope he gets better. Hope he gets better. Hope he gets released at some point. He shouldn't be there for too long. Tom Cruise is 5'7". Okay, thank you. So, all right, chat. We made it. We made it to the end tonight. And by the way, this was episode 149. I am thinking technically episode 156 will be the 3-year point. So was thinking about that. Would probably be our 3-year show, but I think I might do next week as the episode 150, kind of commemorating. We've been doing this about 3 years now, 150 weeks in a row, 150 fucking weeks in a row so far will be coming up. Today's 149. Today is 149. So even doing shows on the road. Could Biden pardon Harris? He could. He could. But with that said, chat, we need to catch up on some of these comments here. Joe Smo says Harris's only threat to the public is abusing all those pages in the in his manifesto. Okay, jeez. Ag Biochemist saying back to the guy ramming the White House. Hey, Ballard, stop shit. No way. Yeah, that's a reference to New Orleans, the New Orleans ramming attack. Mr. Pyro 96 is a new member. Thank you for your support, man. I appreciate it. And Sweet Tooth Fairy, yes, Biden could issue a pardon. Starling Lee, we already mentioned the Daddy Jim thing. Let's see here. Jose is saying, the first time I went to Paris, I saw so much African dong next to the Stade de France. Do the scientist pissing on the wall next to the next on the avenue. Yeah. I've seen the memes. It looks a little rough in Paris, which is sad because I think it would have been a beautiful city to go to and use my garbage amount of French that I know and try to bone up on it before I go over there and go ho ho ho, because that would be great. Taking a glass of wine and having a piece of bread, sitting on the Champs-Élysées, going ho ho ho. What better way to live? What better way to live? And J-Rock gifting 5 memberships. J-Rock, thank you for doing your part to help greenify this part of the world, maybe in this part of the sector. Thank you, J-Rock. And then TJP says, maybe it is you who is guilty, Your Honor, Bish. Yes. Yes. And Tim Riggs is saying, Tim, thank you, man. You're on fire tonight. Saying, never forget that these seized funds usually go into department budgets. Yep. Or I know this for a fact, when money is forfeited as part of indictments in Ohio, when there's a forfeiture allegation, the police get a cut. A cut goes to the state funds, and the prosecutor's office gets a cut. And, obviously they have to use it for certain things, but everybody gets paid. Everybody gets paid. Everyone gets paid in some form or another. For example, more overtime can be approved. So the officers and agents could definitely personally benefit from this piracy. Yeah. Getting more overtime to go steal more money, or using that money to buy new shiny toys. Happens all the time. Hutch Dirty River says, Fat Man, the Clyde seems to be in need of your services. Defend him. Did Clyde go back to you? Babe? Is Clyde back with you? Okay, Clyde's got Stockholm Syndrome. After 2.0 berates him and verbally abuses him, he goes back to her. So, I don't know, chat. I mean, she's a Fed. She's good at manipulating people. So, what can I say? And Michelle is a member for 13 months. Michelle, thank you for the support. 13 months. That's an awesome number. Says, thanks for the laughs, Sean, in chat. Well, yes, chat. Thank you guys so much. Yes, the virtuous cycle of government theft. Yes. Dogholm Syndrome. Yes, a 2.0. And Clyde is a 2.0 simp. Well, a little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm a 2.0 simp, so there you go. And Battle says, Suffer, Clyde. Suffer. Suffer, Clyde. You hear that, Clyde? Chat says suffer. Oh, 2.0 is the ultimate handler, yeah. Yes. So. Oh. Annie Ruler says, my DEA agent friend had an awesome seized truck. What's that? Oh, also 2.0 says happy birthday, Ag. So, although if it's midnight, it might not be your birthday anymore. So, I don't know how that works. Yamal says, when I was at DARE, they showed us all the extravagantly seized firearms. Really? Because when I was at DARE, they didn't do shit like that. Our DARE was kind of boring. We had Officer Joe, but he was a nice guy. But, we didn't have tons of cool shit like that. Clyde is getting a cut as the CI. Yeah, he gets all the hemp treats. So, all right, chat. With that being said, it is the end. Monday is the inauguration. We will watch that live. I'll be here to watch it with you if you want to join me. It'll be a lot of fun. But yes, the Emperor Mankind reascends to the Golden Throne, chat. And we'll be there to cover it. Tomorrow night, we'll be working on Ronald Greer and the rest of his stuff. You aren't gonna get this one taken down, Russell. I'm gonna take care of it. We gotta play the bullshit YouTube games. But you can't cancel me forever. You can't cancel me forever, Russell. And then over the weekend, guys, I'm not sure what we're gonna get into, but we will be working on some things. And suffer YouTube TOS. Suffer shit lips. Suffer everyone. Suffer everyone. And with that said, chat, we are going to get over to locals over potentiallycriminal.locals.com. We'll see you guys there. We'll be hanging out. And wear something beige for Monday. My God. I thought you guys were going to like that, but instead everybody's like, you should wear all their stuff, Sean. Oh, Selena says, hopefully I can watch. It will be entertaining. Yeah, I think it's going to get crazy. So, okay, look up. I can't. That's Fed Posty for YouTube. I can't do that one, but yes, not a bad idea. Yes, I remain under surveillance. Trump did nothing for me. I know. I've been under government handling this whole time. It's so sad. So Good night, chat. I will see you guys around. And remember, until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. You might get found. You also might just be insane, which really sucks because you're still in prison. So good luck, Matthew Harris. Hope you get it sorted out, man. Hope you get to get outside sooner rather than later, because the Nut Hut is not the place to go. So good night, chat, and take care. Oh, I'm a Russian spy. Yes. Привет. Меня зовут Sean. Очень приятно. Anyways, good night, chat. Take care. We'll see you guys. Although I should be a little more forward for flights. I know you. So it's Здравствуйте. Меня зовут Sean. Очень приятно.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. But please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy?